Say nothing, do nothing, let haters burn in their own envy. 1. The nature of hatred, born from envy. Not truth hatred, rarely grows from truth. It blooms in silence, watered by envy, and nourished by the insecurities of those who cannot understand your peace, your power, or your light. People don't hate you because of who you are. They hate you because of how you make them feel about themselves. And the more you rise in silence, the louder their envy becomes. You don't need to provoke them, your very existence does. Your grace, your resilience, your refusal to crumble. These are quiet victories that scream into the hearts of those still battling their own demons. And they hate you, not because you've wronged them, but because you remind them of everything they haven't become. Envy doesn't knock, it barges in. It walks uninvited into conversations, into eyes, into social media comments, and whispers behind your back. And while it may sound like criticism, make no mistake, envy always wears a mask. The truth. You don't need to defend yourself, because what they say about you speaks louder about them than it ever could about you. 2. When silence becomes your shield, there is a strength that lives in stillness, a silent kind of strength that doesn't need applause to exist. It's the kind of power that doesn't retaliate, doesn't explain, and doesn't beg to be understood. It just stands, quiet, steady, unshaken. When you say nothing, you say everything. You tell the world, I don't owe you my peace. You tell the noise, I won't let you change my rhythm. You tell the hate, I see you and I will not shrink because of you. Silence is not weakness. It is mastery. It is the art of restraint in a world obsessed with reacting. It is choosing dignity over drama, grace over gossip, peace over proving a point. When you learn to hold your tongue, you hold your crown. You protect your energy like it's sacred because it is. Not every insult deserves a reply. Not every glare deserves eye contact. Not every hater deserves your story. Let them talk. Let them twist. Let them stew in assumptions. And you? Let your silence do the work of 1,000 words. 3. The cost of proving yourself to those who don't want to understand you could spend your entire life trying to explain your heart to people committed to misunderstanding it. But why? Why waste precious breath trying to win the favor of those who've already decided to despise you? Some people don't want clarity, they want conflict. Because your peace threatens the war inside them. You are not a courtroom. You don't exist to defend your intentions to those who have already made up their minds. You don't need to prove your kindness. You don't need to justify your growth. You don't need to explain your success. People see only what their level of healing allows them to see. Some will never be able to see your truth because they are too blinded by their own wounds. Trying to be understood by those who hate you is like throwing seeds into fire. Nothing grows, only pain spreads. So save your explanations, not because you're hiding, but because you've finally realized your life is not a debate, it's a garden. And some people weren't meant to walk its paths. 4. Envy is a mirror. Not a judgment. When someone envies you, they're not telling you something about yourself. They're revealing something about themselves. Their glare isn't about your glow, it's about their lack of it. Their words aren't a reflection of your truth. They're a projection of their pain. They envy your peace because they have none. They envy your courage because fear still cages them. They envy your light because they're still lost in the dark. Don't take it personally. Envy is never about you. It's about the version of themselves they wish they could become. You're just a mirror. A quiet reminder of all they wish they were brave enough to be. 5. How the quiet rise leaves the loudest impact. Loud is not the same as strong. True power doesn't have to shout. Sometimes the most powerful response is to keep showing up. Eyes calm, soul intact, heart unbothered. To keep walking, even as whispers follow your every step. To keep building, even when they try to tear your name apart. to keep loving even as they try to make you hard. You don't need to clap back. You don't need to expose them. You don't need to call out every lie, because your growth is louder than their gossip. Your healing is louder than their hate, and your presence is louder than their envy. Let them burn in the fire they set for you. You just keep walking through it, untorched, untouched, undefeated. 6. The peace in letting them watch there is an exquisite kind of peace that comes when you stop fighting for attention and start honoring your stillness. Let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them whisper. Every time you don't react, you reclaim power. Every time you don't explain, you protect your energy. Every time you don't return hate, you rise higher. Because at the end of the day, you're not here to convince them. You're here to create, to grow, to become. Let them burn in their envy. Not because you wish them harm, but because you finally understand some people need their fire. They need something to rage at. They need someone to blame. They need a target for all the storms they've refused to face within themselves. You've chosen a different path. 7. Why some people deserve nothing but your distant forgiveness doesn't mean returning. Grace doesn't mean access. Peace doesn't mean proximity. Some people don't deserve closure. They deserve distance. Not because you hate them, but because you love yourself enough not to bleed for people who never learned how to bandage their own wounds. You've outgrown their games. You've outgrown their noise. You've outgrown the need to be understood by those who only listen, to respond, not to understand, so you say nothing, do nothing. And yet, you are doing everything. You're healing, you're rising, you're letting go, and that's why they hate you even more. 8. Choosing a higher ground is a silent revolution. Choosing peace in the face of conflict is not passive. It's revolutionary. It's refusing to give in to chaos, saying, I will not let your hate become my habit. It's walking away not because you're weak, but because you're wise enough to know what you will no longer entertain. You no longer need revenge, because you've realized the best revenge is not success. Fast. The best revenge is being so deeply content they no longer have a role in your story. You've stopped being reactive. You've started being rooted, and that is where your true strength begins. 9. For the ones who chose to stay silent, to the one who chose peace over pettiness, to the one who walked away when they could have clapped back, to the one who endured false stories, rumors, and bitterness in silence, you are powerful beyond words. You are not invisible. You are invincible. And though the world may not always applaud you, your soul knows. It knows the battles you fought in silence, the nights you chose peace when revenge would have felt easier, the times you swallowed pain just to protect your integrity. Your silence isn't empty, it's full of grace. Let them keep talking. Let them keep guessing. Let them keep burning in the fires of their own unhealed wounds. You keep shining. Point 10. Conclusion. You owe them nothing, but you owe yourself everything's. Sometimes the loudest thing you can say is nothing at all, because not every battle deserves your sword. Some only need your silence, not because you're weak, but because you're wise. Because you've learned that your peace is too expensive to spend on people who only trade in drama. Let them wonder why. You're unbothered. Let them whisper about your stillness. Let them drown in their envy while you breathe freely. You are not here to dim so others feel brighter. You are here to rise. Quietly, gracefully, undeniably, so say nothing. Do nothing. And let them burn, not in hatred, but in the fire of their own envy. Soft closing from me to you. If you've ever felt the weight of being misunderstood, if you've ever been the target of someone's envy, if you've ever had to choose silence when every part of you wanted to scream, know this, you are not alone. Your silence speaks volumes. And your grace is a rare kind of power in a world addicted to noise. Thank you for being here, for choosing calm over chaos, for rising in quiet strength. If this message spoke to you, touched your heart, or gave you peace, I invite you to watch the full video on our channel, Awaken Mindset. Every view, every like, every kind comment helps us grow this space of healing, wisdom, and deep reflection. Let's keep walking this silent, powerful path together. Subscribe, share your story, support the movement,